have a special guest on the Tavern today. You've seen him on Championship Wrestling of Hollywood and NWA Power from Queens, New York. Slice Boogie. Slice, what's going on, man?
What's good, fellas? You already know, man. It's getting hot out here.
Yeah, man. It's
got the AC bumping. Can't even save electricity anymore.
Dude, as soon as I walked in from work today, cranked the AC. Yep.
Yeah, you got to stay cool. It's getting to the point where, you know, that heat's getting to be a bit much and the humidity.
Yeah, well, I'll be all right. It's good, fellas.
So let's talk a little, let's go back to like the beginning of it all, man. Like I assume you were a big wrestling fan. Correct me if I'm wrong, when you were a kid. So talk about, you know, some of that early wrestling fandom. Like what made you become just a fan of pro wrestling?
So I have a brother who's 8 years older than me. So he, ever since I grew up, we had wrestling on in the house, you know. As early as I can remember, it would be like like Saturday night main event would be on, and then I think Sunday night or Saturday night as well, WCW would have a show on like TBS or TNT.
Yep, TBS, yep.
With like the small little studio.
Oh yeah. And
like my mom would make the same fucking meal every Sunday. It would be like bow tie pasta and steak, and it would be WCW time. So like I've been watching wrestling my whole life, and I'm not a 20-year-old kid. I'm like pushing 40 almost. Like I'm older, so I've seen a lot of, you know, just different styles of wrestling, and I think that's why I've been able to pick it up. You know, there's a lot of kids now who are 20. You know, like they love Edge. Like I respect Edge, but I know Edge is a tag team guy, you know, like that's where I remember when he started, when he was brand new.
Yep.
And kids 20 years old remember when he was the world champ already, you know, so it's just different. I've been able to absorb so much wrestling, like different eras and styles as a fan. So when I decided to try my luck, it was just easy for me, you know.
So who were some of your guys growing up? And you talk about your older brother. Who were some of your?
So me, my brother,
guys.
Well, I have a sister too, but she doesn't like wrestling. I would like make her kids cry, hitting them with power bombs. Like I would get in trouble. I've been wrestling kids outside in the projects since I was a kid. Like it's just second nature. Like in the projects by the slide, we have like a rubber mat. So like you could suplex somebody without dying, you know. So I had a lot of practice. We're Undertaker family. Like me, my brother, his kids, my sister's kid. Undertaker was always number one, you know. Growing up, I liked Hogan. I hated Flair. I didn't appreciate Flair until I got older, you know. So he did his job. I always loved Harlem Heat. Even like they would book themselves from 110th Street. Like my uncle lived on 110th Street, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll see them one day. And not knowing those motherfuckers are from Texas, like they're not even from Harlem, but I didn't know, you know. There's just so many people to name, you know, Savage, and then like I feel like when I got a little older, Ultimo Dragon, you know, there's a lot like Hayabusa. There's like so many. I can name a million wrestlers, you know. Japan, you know, I never got into like British wrestling. I'm starting to try to pick that up, you know, because I'm not a technical wrestler, but I'm trying to learn some tricks, you know. But it was mainly WWF, WCW, and then ECW when it popped off.
So growing up as a fan in New York City, was there any like particular memories you remember, like maybe an early show you and your brother went to, or your family? Like, is there anything like that really sticks out to you? Like, man, that really hit me.
So I do remember going to Brooklyn. So there was kids in my so there were older guys in my projects who would actually wrestle. Like, but it was like in a church on public access. The ring was like 8 feet tall. It made no sense. One time they knew my older brother, but my older brother never went. But then one time my brother let me go with them. And like I was begging for them to let me wrestle, and they wouldn't let me wrestle. But they were recording like show wrestling for public access. And as far as I can remember, they were terrible. But it was just like the coolest thing. Right. And that was like the first taste I ever got of like being in a wrestling ring. But wrestling was always a fantasy for me. You know what I mean? It was like I thought I would make the NBA or major leagues before like I ever became a wrestler. You know, it was never a plan of mine. I haven't even been doing this for 3 years. You know, so and also I remember going to an MSG live event with my mom, and like it was like for my birthday, so we got blessed like three rows back. And I
Oh,
forgot.
wow.
I remember like British Bulldog was wrestling somebody, and I was like, British Bulldog sucks. And then like a kid turns around and he's like, British Bulldog doesn't suck with an English accent. I assume it's his kid or somebody.
Right.
And like three British people in front of me, like British Bulldog doesn't suck. And like that stuck out to me, like the Godwins, like they were like the farmers, like when they slop, like it almost hit us, like it was like real slop, like with fucking corn and shit.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I wish I could remember the specific matches. I really can't. But like Razor Ramon, Undertaker, it was that era when I went. I want to say it was like 90.
That sounds 94, 95-ish.
Yeah, it was like a birthday gift. I don't know. I don't think Stone Cold was popping yet. It was still Bret Hart, Taker, Razor, Shawn Michaels. I don't think Diesel was there. It's hard to remember, but yeah.
Man, being so close too, that had to be British Bulldog's family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We were like literally third. It was like we were right there. Like, cause my mom, she had told somebody it was like a birthday gift, and like they just blessed her like with good tickets for like a good price. And I'll never forget that. That was the closest I've ever been to like the actual show. I never went to a WCW show or ECW at the Elks Lodge. I never went. I regret it.
See, WCW is what we had here. We were in WCW country, so all of our house shows that we would go to with WCW, like we didn't have a whole lot of WWF around here.
Right.
So
yeah, I don't remember them ever coming here. Maybe Long Island. They were in Long Island, maybe. But.
Yeah. You mentioned, this was, being a wrestler was pretty much like a fantasy, like it wasn't even in your head. So when did, and it's recent, last 2 or 3 years, you said you started training. So when did that fantasy become something where you're like, you know what, I don't want to just be a fan anymore. I actually want to start training and do this.
So I have a friend out here named Alex. He's from New York. So he wanted to move out here. So I let him stay with me for like 2-3 months. And then he ended up moving here, got his own apartment or whatever. So he was like my gym buddy. And like, he's kind of quiet, like the way I act now is how I act. Like Slice Boogie is not really like a character. It's just how I am. Like I'm loud, I talk loud, I'm extra. So like I was getting in good shape. Like I was like probably like 205, super ripped though. Like right now I'm 235, quarantine belly, but I still yoke a motherfucker up. But, like I kept talking about wrestling and then one time he was like, yo, stop talking about it and be about it. Like do it then. And like he would never talk to me like that. Like he risked me like punching him in the face. and then like it just hit me like maybe I should try this shit. Like why not? If I keep but it's the same mantra. I don't like people who talk about something and they don't do it. Like you don't talk to me about investing in crypto for 3 months and don't pull a trigger. Like do it. Yeah. If you want to talk about it.
Be about it.
I went to like a 1-day class that I saw a girl on Tinder and she was like in a Texas Cloverleaf. So I messaged her like, yo, what's this about? Like, is this like a fetish or is this like a real wrestling school? She's like, no, this is a wrestling school. So I went to like Santino's 1-day tryout, not to toot my own horn, but I was the best one there, by far. And after that 1-day tryout, I was like, yo, I'm signing up. Fuck it. I didn't debut the fast. I think I was second fastest debut ever. I think Eli Everfly might have been first. I think I debuted after like 7 months, 8 months.
Oh wow!
And that was it. I've been hit the ground running.
How'd your family react to it? Knowing that you came up loving it and watching it. How'd they react when you started training?
My mom was kind of worried, but she was also excited. Because she's like, I had like a sparkle in my eye about it. I was like excited about it, because I really am from the streets. Like I've been in trouble, this and that. Like not like Teddy Hart trouble, more like Booker T MVP trouble.
Right.
Yeah. Like let's not. Yeah. I was running the streets, so like my mom has always been worried for me, and I got something that I could do that's legit, something that is a passion. entertainment. Like it's right up my alley. Like I talk to the way I got you guys laughing. I make my friends laugh. I could make the crowd laugh. Like it's natural for me. And then I've been power bombing kids since I was 6 years old in the projects on rubber without killing them. Okay, I'm not the biggest guy, but like I've been lifting weights half my life since getting ready for basketball. I just got bigger and bigger. Basketball became a pipe dream. It's over for that. So they were excited, and then like my brother gets more excited for me. Like I told my brother about NWA. He's like, oh shit, because he's 8 years older than me. So
yeah.
He was born in what, 76, 77? So but NWA was popping off.
Yeah, it was
like
prime NWA days.
Yeah, he was watching that like mid 80s. Like he was watching that. Like so he's real proud of me, you know. My family's proud of me, but I'm just ready to go to the next level. Like I need to not pay bills with this. I need to like, you know, buy a house off this, you know, then I can feel like I'm a success, you know, but because wrestling is a hard grind. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, man.
It's not easy.
I've heard you say in the past, like that you love New York City. It's a city that made you, but that city kind of became a dead end for you. And because you kept making the same mistakes, like you talked about, can you talk a little bit about those mistakes and the pitfalls that you encountered there and how you made the decision to move to Los Angeles?
So I grew up in Woodside Projects in Queens, New York, which is like, there's different projects in New York. So when I grew up there, I wasn't really a bad kid. I would wrestle outside. We would play basketball outside. I would get into some mischief, you know, but nothing crazy, nothing dangerous, you know, just regular kid, like. And then we moved out of there when I was 12. So back then, and it was bad out there. Like one time when I was a baby, there was like a shootout on the rooftop, and we lived on the 5th floor, and like bullets had gone through like our window. Oh, and my mom had to like take me out the baby crib and lay on the ground.
Oh man.
It was like New York in the 90s, New York in the early 90s, mid 80s was like the worst crime, you know? It was like a war zone. No Call of Duty. It was a real war zone. But growing up in Woodside until I was 11, 12, I never really experienced too much. Like, I remember we were walking home from the pharmacy and like some kid was showing his friend a gun, and my sister and mom were like real scared, but I was just like, they're not robbing us. He's just showing them a gun. So I became desensitized to that real quick. Right. And then we ended up moving to like a nicer co-op apartment across the street from another projects. And I would go there to play. I was actually in the nice co-op. I was wrestling outside with kids, and like the management of that co-op, they got tired of my shit. Like you can't wrestle. So it was just like I kept getting in trouble there to the point where like it's risking our apartment. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Wrestling and like so like I just went to the projects like fuck it. There's no rules here, and that's when like the streets started to take over. I was still playing basketball. But I was just juggling, you know, basketball and trying to make a quick dollar, fighting, you know, and then it ended up escalating to, you know, shit you might see in a crime film, you know. Right. That's all I'm gonna say. But I've been in some real gangster situations. Like, this is like, that's all I can say, man.
Yeah.
Just put 2 and 2 together, real. I never killed nobody.
Yeah.
But there's been some gangster shit in my life, and I've moved past that. My sister had just told me like she had just had a baby, and she was gonna take the baby to Israel, like to see like the baby father's, like the husband's parents. So she had a business in LA and a dog. So she's like, just come out here, stay with me for a little while, run the business. You'll have the apartment to yourself, the car to yourself, see what you can do out here. And then while I was out here, I ended up getting like a strip club manager job, and this was like 3-4 years before I even thought about wrestling. You know, 3 years, I think I lived here before I started training. So that was it, man. I just came out to LA for a fresh start, basically. Yeah. I mean, was I in danger in New York? No, like it was just, it was the same old shit, you know?
Right.
Sometimes you gotta leave your neighborhood, and the older you get, all my friends are leaving New York, move to Atlanta, move to Florida. You just gotta start over sometimes. You still love New York, but you go back there too long, you're gonna fall into the same problems. Like I got friends who've been killed. Like multiple friends have been killed from my neighborhood. I got friends locked up doing 20 years, doing 5 years. It's just that would have been me. You know, I got locked up for like trying to make $1, so I don't need that shit anymore.
Right.
Go to
Yeah.
LA, start over. Look, I'm on NWA. I feel like that's a big deal for me, you know, as somebody who never
Oh,
thought
that's huge.
I would even be a
huge, man.
fucking wrestler. Like I never thought I'd be a wrestler. Like, that was like fairy tale. That's like me being Wolverine or fucking Gandalf the Grey. Like that shit was never in my mind. Like
Yeah.
wrestling
Yeah.
and shit. As soon as I started training, I was like, I could do this shit. And then like I remember my trainer Joey Chaos was like, what are your goals? Because early on in training, I'm like, I don't know, man, indie wrestler, be on some shows. He's like, indie wrestler. He's like, fuck that. He's like, your goal should be WWE. I don't even know if AEW was out when I first started training. He said, your goal should be WWE, New Japan, Impact, a major promotion. So I've always had that mindset, like to not settle for a fucking Lucha Libre show. I gotta take it to the top.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, your promos on NWA Power, I mean, they've given you a chance to shine outside of the ring. What's the most important part of cutting a promo for you?
I think it's just making sure that I'm shining through. I'm getting my words across. I'm using my own slang. Like I'm just so tired of the stereotypical promos. Like, I want to be the best, or I'm gonna whoop your ass. Like I've heard that shit 100 million times. I'm not gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna smack fire out of you, and your mother's gonna feel it. Like, you know what I mean? I got, at least we just have to deliver these promos with slightly different vernacular, different slang, because we're tired of hearing the same old shit. And I just feel like if I bring the energy, not every promo's not gonna be funny. Some will be more serious than others. But if I can make someone laugh or love to hate me or hate to love me, I'm doing my job. Like I feel like in a promo, some of it has to be free. You have to freestyle, and then sometimes you got to go in there prepared what you're gonna say. But just I have the luxury of not having to be a character. I could just be me, so that's way easier. If I had to be like a fucking cowboy or astronaut, or it would be harder, But I'm a New York motherfucker, and that's all I have to do.
But you can tell you bring the realness with your promo too. Like,
that's what makes them pop.
Yeah,
I think that, and that's the age that we live in now. It's like we want everyone wants a wrestler who's keeping it real. Like everyone's like, Roman Reigns is doing a hell of a job, and I don't think he's trying very hard. He's just being him, a little sinister version of himself. Like
we always say on the show, like we like a lot of realism in our wrestling, and when you bring that, it kind of blurs that line, and it makes you forget and you fall into the stories and you buy into the characters, and you're definitely doing that on NWA. Now, before NWA, kind of when we took notice of you, and I think a few other people in the industry started taking notice of you, was the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood stuff. How did that come about for you?
That was random. So before I debuted, I had went there once to help out, and it was like a different type of show. From my perspective, it was very micromanaged. You know what I mean? I was in the production room, and it felt like they were just managing every little thing, getting mad at every little move, and it kind of turned me off. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, mind you, I didn't even debut yet, so who the fuck am I to think that? Right. But eventually, I was told that they had a little more freedom. And then I reached out to go on the show. I was like, what do I have to lose? You know what I mean? I got to learn TV. There's stuff to be learned here. I'm nobody special. Like, I'm just getting started. Yeah, I have a little buzz in LA, but I need to learn TV. So there's so many Santino brothers involved with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. It was like, all I had to do was hit one person up, like a ref, or like there's like Nick Banano is a ref who's worked with us, Santino's, forever. Right. Yeah. He's worked with me personally. He's been in my matches, never really, he might have had my debut match, him or Jeremy Marcus. So it was easy for me to get on that show, and I just had to show them like I'm a different breed once I'm there, And
I'm sure that was the first time you were working with a company that was taping their show, so you kind of got the TV side of pro wrestling down. Was that new for you?
As far as TV, yes, because TV is you gotta work the camera. I mean, obviously, I've wrestled places where the matches were recorded, right? It wasn't necessarily TV style. You know what I mean? It wasn't like the ref wasn't like giving you time cues and shit like that.
Right.
This was like, and then I did Primetime Live for the first time, and like we nailed our time, had a good match. So I think people started to have a little more faith in me. Like, I don't care if this guy's new, this guy gets it. He's going live on pay-per-view, able to have a decent match, sticking to times. We need to keep throwing this guy into the fire, see what he could do.
Yeah.
So like TV, I've been able to pick it up, you know? I mean, I'm just learning on the fly.
So then how, after Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, how did you get offered a spot with NWA? How'd that all come about?
Someone from Talent Relations reached out to me. They saw Hollywood. And a couple of people put in a good word for me. And that's how the business works, man. That's how the business works. It's like, yo, I told this guy about you. I told this ex-WWE guy about you. See what he could do. You know what I mean? And people, it's up to you to prove that you're worth something. Like, I don't really waste opportunities, you know? So like right. 4 months into my career, 3 or 4 months, I went to a show, Maverick Pro Wrestling. I went to help as security. Like, you know what I mean? Because you're trying to get your foot in the door when you debut. Sure. Nobody knows you.
Right.
So I offered to help. Boom, boom, boom. Like, they're like, bring your gear just in case. Oh, you're going to have a match. You're going to be like a 6-way scramble. Fuck it. Oh, right before the show, Killer Cross tells me, oh, we're going to put you in a promo, me, you, and Bob Holly in the beginning. I'm like, what? Right. Went out, talked shit to both of them in the beginning of the show. Talk shit to both of them, didn't miss a beat. They end up both clotheslining me, boom, boom, fuck me out the ring. Then during their main event, Cross versus Holly, I go in there and I punch both of them in the nuts, you know? And then they end up turning it around on me. But that was when I felt my confidence skyrocket from there, because it was like, I could cut a promo with these two guys and I'm not missing a beat. And I'm 3-4 months in, you know? And they had enough. And they had faith in me to do that. And I was like, did these guys ever even see me? Well, obviously, Holly never saw me, but I'm sure Cross had seen me. For them to have faith in me and then put me in that program for that show, my confidence went through the roof. Like, there were people on that show giving me the dirty eye, didn't know who I was. Like, why is this guy getting a shot? And that's when I felt so good about it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So that's how it is, man. It's just when you get these opportunities, you just gotta like go hard or go home. That's a cliche.
What were the Power tapings like? What was it like being in Atlanta and working in that, you know, studio wrestling format and meeting all those guys and working with all those guys?
It was dope, man. It was such a different philosophy, you know. I find it easier when they don't want you to do 450s. Obviously, Matt Cross is going to do 450s. He could probably do it blindfold on. But, like, you know, it's work your character, strong wrestling, the way we were taught, you know, the way Santinos were taught. We were taught the right way to make everything matter. Sometimes less is more, and that's how it is there. And a lot of the vets gave me good information, and, like, it feels good to be looked at as a peer. I think once they started seeing what I was doing, they were like, all right, this guy kind of fucking belongs here, as opposed to being treated like some jabroni, you know?
Right.
A lot of the vets were giving me good insight. I didn't speak to everybody, but a lot of the vets were giving me good insight. Like Austin Idol was giving me good insight. Like I was just, then Jackson Crimson, who I'm like working the program with, it was good, man. Good experience. And I will be back too.
There was a tweet that you tweeted out. You spoke about the 450 just now, and there was a tweet that you recently put out that I thought really embodied, you know, who Slice Boogie is. And it said, fuck your 450 splash. Do you come alive when you step through the curtains?
Yo, there's people that could do every flip in the book, but like they come out to the crowd and like all they do is like,
right,
come on, yeah. And it's like,
yeah,
no one cares. No one really, like, because no one cares. We love wrestling, but like Hogan versus Rock, there were no moonsaults, you know?
Right.
They're larger than life. If Hogan did a moonsault, the fucking world would explode. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like you want people to care about who you are. I almost equate it to basketball. It's like like there's players like Harold Miner, who was an athletic freak and he could dunk, but he had no fundamentals.
Right.
People going crazy over Kobe doing a post-up fadeaway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Kobe does a post-up fadeaway. Oh, when Kobe does a crazy dunk, ooh, but like if Harold Miner does a jump shot, no one cares. If Harold Miner does a nice dunk, no one cares because his fundamentals ain't right. He's not averaging 30 points a game.
Right.
So like it's like you're coming into wrestling, you want to do so much shit, you don't even let it digest, and then you just like you're not letting the crowd care about you. You know,
Right.
You got to tell a story in the ring, but you also have to bring a persona. Maybe it's easy for me because of like what my character is, but like everyone has to find what works, man. Like Orange Cassidy does crazy shit, but people also care when he does nothing.
Right.
Like he's just like a great character, you know.
Yeah, it's all about the character.
People want him to do nothing because that's his, yeah.
And then when he does do shit, it's like, ooh. So
yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
It's all important when we care. Like MJF, like you want to see him get knocked out. Like,
yeah.
So he does. I'm sure he could do all the flips in the world, but it's good. Just seeing him get punched in the face is good. It's like worth the money, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I haven't like. I appreciate deathmatch wrestlers and this and that, but I'm older, man. It's just like I'm not gonna go like the extra route when I just have to do it the right way and like organically grow as a character.
Right.
So then when I do a death match, I'm gonna charge a lot of money and it'll be worth something.
Right.
You know?
Right.
No hot dog and a handshake for that, right?
Nah. Like, if I'm a bleed, I need to get paid for it. For real.
Yeah.
So you've been in the ring with a lot of really comparable talent. I mean, you spoke about Crimson, Jax Dane, the War Kings. You've been in there with Davey Boy Smith Jr., Luchasaurus, Tyler Bateman, Jake Atlas. But one person I have to ask you about, you brought up Deathmatch, and it instantly made me think, because he's been getting a lot of attention because he's got an episode of Dark Side of the Ring that's going to be about him coming up.
Yeah.
What was it like being in the ring with the infamous deathmatch legend known as Nick Gage?
For me, another day in the office, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been in rooms with stone cold killers, man.
Yeah.
Real killers. I've been in rooms with real murderers. So
Right.
like to be with Nick Gage, it's like it was like I was like back in high school. I had to fight this kid, you know. I had to fight somebody who looked at me the wrong way.
Yeah,
man.
Being a real nice guy.
Yeah.
But I know he's a psychopath. But we didn't have a death match. There were no pizza cutters involved.
Right.
There was no barbed wire or glass involved. So chair to the head, I'll eat that. Go through a table or a door, I'll eat that. Brawl, punch in the face, I'll eat that. So it was kind of like the ball was kind of in my court. You know what I mean?
Right.
If there would have been glass and barbed wire, I probably would have been a little shook. I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have. You know what I mean? I don't need any lacerations. I'm more handsome than Nick Gage. I want to keep it that way.
Yeah,
but it was a good experience, man. It was a good experience. He's actually a nice guy, but like he brought the fight. It was.
I've heard he's intense. When he gets in that ring, he turns it on.
Yeah. I'm the same way. So it was good, man. I had fun with that. I had fun with that match, man. I had the scars and all that. So
that's awesome.
And I actually beat him too. So
that's what I was gonna say. You got the victory.
Yeah.
So talking about all those people you were in the ring with, all the people you've shared the ring with, is there one like match or one opponent that you look back at and you say, man, that was a major learning experience or a major turning point for me?
Well, Shad, R.I.P. Shad Gaspar was like the first like WWE alum I ever wrestled.
Yeah.
And early on in the match, shit went wrong. Like I tried something, it didn't work, and he's such a vet that he just grabs me off the apron and Ric Flairs me, body slam to the concrete. and then like he tells me to take a breather, like clear my like reset. Cause shit went wrong. Like I wanted to do something, I botched it, and I never botched anything in my career. I was like, what? So
yeah.
He just took over, blasted me, and And it was just a learning experience that if something goes wrong, he told me. He told me like word for word. Like it's like quicksand. Like you can't go deeper in the quicksand. You gotta relax, take a deep breath, and get your way out. So that was
Right.
like a real big learning experience for me because usually I'm so used to all my matches going well. You know what I mean? Never fucked up anything up. So like when I fucked that one thing up, I had tried to spring to the top and jump out, but I didn't do it. So then I was gonna jump pescado and I like flung over the rope. It was a nightmare. It was like it was the only you fucked up chant I've ever got in my career to this
Oh,
day.
no.
To this day. So like it was a learning experience that he did what a vet is supposed to do, what I hope one day I'll be able to do. I have done it, but like not on a
Right.
large scale like that. But I've had to lead people when shit goes wrong. And that's what vets do, man, because people think it takes two to tango, man. And when you become like a good vet, like if I went in there with AJ Styles right now, he would make me look like $1,000,000. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
that's what
Right.
vets do. You make people look good. You lead the way. So that was like a real learning experience. And he was, it was hard for me when he passed because I would ask him for advice, and we had like the same mind frame from New York. And I remember one time he told me like, "There's a reason we do this shit is because we don't fit into normal society. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
not meant to have a regular 9 to 5. Like, we're meant to do something else." So I say that he was the first big like star that I got to actually have a match with,
That's
and
great.
and it's just it sucked that he passed. It's fucking horrible news in a
Yeah,
horrible
that was
year.
terrible.
It was
That
awful,
was
man.
awful.
Yeah.
Love Crime Time, man. It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So like, I'd say that was like the first big learning experience I got.
what promotions are you currently, we know you work with NWA and you got that going. You guys are popping off on Fight TV. But is there any promotions that just kind of as a fan you still kind of watch and keep track of or just study tape?
You mean yeah, I watch all types of wrestling. I watch a lot of Japanese women wrestling, like
Yeah.
way more than I should. They have like I steal their shit. No one thinks to look there.
Yeah.
No one thinks to look there. Everyone wants to do the same spot they see on AEW or on Raw or SmackDown or on New Japan. They all. I'm taking my shit from Japanese women, like the
Yeah.
counters, and you're gonna be like, wow, where'd he come up with that? Oh yeah, 5'1", 98-pound Japanese girl. Don't tell nobody. Yeah,
There's the secret.
I watch a lot. I watch all the major promotions really. Like I don't watch it every week. Like I don't watch AEW. I don't watch everything I don't watch like the shows every week. I'll catch highlights.
Right.
If I hear there's a good match, I'll check it out. I'll watch a lot of old school Japanese like All Japan,
All Japan, yeah.
like King's Road. I watch a lot of that. I watch New Japan. I watch a lot of wrestling. There's nothing like specific. I don't watch too much indies anymore because I'm starting to realize that a lot of these people don't know what they're doing,
Right, right.
But yeah, WWE, NXT, New Japan, Stardom, Tokyo
Yeah.
Joshi Pro. Yeah,
There's so much out there, man. There's
Yeah.
so much out there. So what are your goals for the next 5 years? Like what do you have a plan laid out for yourself?
I do not. I'm not signed with NWA right now. So I'm still technically a free agent. I want to go to like all the shows. Like would I want to go on AEW? Probably, yeah. Would I want a WWE trial? Yeah. Do I want to go to Japan? Yeah, that's like a dream.
Yeah.
I grew up I love Japanese wrestling. I grew up like I think a lot of people my age like was when like Japanese culture really started to blow up in America, like Fist of the North Star, Akira, and then like Nintendo's from Japan. So we grew up like watching Dragon Ball Z, all that shit.
Yeah.
So it's always Japan has always been intriguing, and then with the wrestling as well. So it's my dream to go to Japan, wrestling for New Japan maybe. I feel like I should be on New Japan Strong after I had like a good match with Carl. I feel like I should be on that show.
Yeah.
The people. I've wrestled like 5, 6 people that are on the show already. Like I haven't wrestled Brody yet. I love to wrestle Brody. So
Right.
like I don't have any specific companies that I want to. I'm just trying to like raise my stock right now. Still learning, still improving. But I would like to be signed to a major company. I don't have enough. Besides going to Japan, I don't have enough time, I feel like, to really go on a worldwide tour. You know,
Right.
I need to secure that money as soon as possible. But I would like to at least experience Japan before I sign any like deals.
Maybe not the time, but Slice Boogie's got the talent. I know that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You're on your way.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, before we let you go, we always do, it's a shoot sixer, and it's 6 questions that we ask you. It's 6 kind of
shooter.
6 shooter.
Oh,
Yeah.
Six shooter.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be rapid fire. So you want to go first? You want to hit the first one?
Question number 1. What's worse during rush hour traffic? Taking the 7 out of 42nd Street to Queens or taking the 405 out of Hollywood?
405. I was stuck in the 405 for fucking 5 hours, man.
It's brutal, man. It's brutal. I've lived out there a while. It's
for
brutal.
5 hours, literally 5 hours. I was trying to be like a traveling salesman for a couple months.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Oh yeah.
Now those, I know it's getting that time of year too, man. The subways become saunas up there.
Oh God, New York.
Yeah, but the trains, at least the trains, they got their little they're coming every few minutes, you know.
Yeah,
unless if you're on 42nd Street at 2 in the morning, then you're assed out. But
yeah,
I used to, because we lived in New York for a little while, and man, I used to, in the summer, I'd love when a train would roll by and get that breeze going.
Oh yeah, we'd take the 1 uptown because we worked at the Old Tower Records on the Upper West Side, 66 and Broadway. So we were always taking the 1 uptown.
Yeah. All right. So second question, Montreal screw job. Whose side are you taking?
I'm taking Brett's side because he was lied to, even though he should have dropped the belt. But I feel like they could have figured out a way.
Yeah.
Change the opponent. Let him drop it to someone else.
Right.
I agree. That was kind of bad to get lied like that.
As a wrestler, I gotta choose Brett. Like I don't own a company. I would be mad if I got screwed over. But if I ever own a fucking Slice Boogie Pro Wrestling, maybe I'll take Vince's side.
All right. Question number 3. Best pizza in New York.
Oh, that's impossible. So my favorite I have a spot like a few blocks from my house that I love named Samaria's. It's not the best pizza ever. If it was in LA, it would be like top tier. But like it's just like it's my favorite. I always go there. It's my favorite pizzeria, like my local pizzeria. If we're talking like best, it's hard, man. Grimaldi's, DeFara. There's so many. I used to live on Spanish Harlem by Patsy's. It's too many to name. Those are 3 top tiers right there. Grimaldi's, DeFara, and Patsy's. But then you could go on and on.
What was the spot we would go to in Harlem? Cornette's?
Cornet's on 110th Street. Yeah.
So good. They had giant pizzas. So
good.
Good.
On the west side? I don't know if I ever heard of that.
It was on 110th and Broadway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Patsy's is on like, I used to live like on First Ave, so that's the other side.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Question number 4. What's one movie and what's one musical artist you would recommend to anybody?
Anybody? That's hard, man. There's so many people that don't like certain stuff. I would recommend Carlito's Way.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Then I'm thinking of my mom. Like she's like, my true story. My mom is like, she used to be a court interpreter.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So a judge actually wrote that movie. If you look it up, a judge that she would interpret like court cases for.
Yeah.
And he's like a Puerto Rican judge, and he's a piece of shit too. He's a real asshole.
Yeah.
And I guess he wrote that movie based on just one of the guys, like one of the criminals that he like sentenced. Yeah, bro. If you look it up, it's like the judge. Carlito's Way, and musical artist. I'm trying to think who everyone would like.
Who would you like? And you think everyone should like?
It don't work like that, man. Look how many people do the spear and the suicide dive.
Right.
Oh, man, it makes me want to throw up.
Right.
You got like 5 guys on the same show with the same move. Musical artists. I'm gonna go out of left field. Florence and the Machine. That's good music right there.
Okay.
That's like, that music is like, it belongs in movies.
Yeah, it's cinematic.
So if someone doesn't like that music, like it's like, what do you like? What kind of music do you like?
Yeah.
It's like Brody King. I always tell him the rock bands that I like, and he's like, ew. Because Brody King is like a death metal artist. Like,
yeah.
So I tell him, yo, I like 3 Days Grace. I like Five Finger Death Punch. He's like, lame, posers. I'm going with Florence on this one.
I like it. So question number 5. The pandemic's over. You're making towns. You're driving to shows. You can have 3 wrestlers, alive or dead, in the car with you. What 3 wrestlers are you putting in the car with you to go drive and make these towns?
See, like now I'm trying to think if I wanted to be like my friends or if I wanted to be just like people that I could learn, like my favorite wrestlers. You know?
Right.
Because if we're talking like, I mean, I would have to put Undertaker in there.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I would put Kenny Omega in there.
All right.
I feel like those two are probably so different, but like
Yeah.
I would like want to pick their brains. And I have to go with Flair, man. Flair would make sure we had a good night at the end of the night. we would have fun, and he knows the business. So Flair,
that's a
Taker,
good
and Kenny
car.
Omega, that would be a weird. Kenny Omega would be like the outcast. I don't even know if he drinks, but
right.
at least I'll tell him that he made me want to train. To be a wrestler.
Well, and here's the thing too: if he's not drinking, he can drive.
DD, yeah, word, DD.
He can
Yeah,
he can
you got a DD.
And
I like that car though.
There'll always be Diet Coke in the car, so that's I think you should smash that.
Something to chase it with.
And it's 3 different generations too. Like that's a great pairing of people too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I fell back in love after Okada Omega won, like Wrestle Kingdom. I fell back in love with wrestling because I would watch it, with that my friend Alex that I mentioned earlier. But when I saw that match, it was like, what the fuck is this? And where have I been?
Right.
It opened up my eyes to like the wrestling world outside of like what I was watching. So.
Yeah, I feel like that match was a turning point for a lot of people where it's like, wow, this isn't WWE.
It's like, what am I watching? Like,
right.
This is insane. Like,
yeah,
excellent wrestling too. But then like,
without
them even like telling a story without even being over the top, like as far as talking, they didn't. Like, Okada's not even speaking.
Right.
It's not like you could understand what Okada's saying, but every little thing he does, it's like you could put words to it.
Yeah.
All right. So question number 6: who is Slice Boogie?
Slice Boogie. Slice Boogie is the guy in New York that you don't want to see in the alleyway. Like if he's drunk, you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah. Yep.
If he's sober and you got a pretty girlfriend, he might try to take your girl.
Yeah.
But if you're his homie, he's gonna come through with a bottle of Henny, maybe a pizza, maybe some ice cream. Eat. I'm the like New York hood guy that not too many New Yorkers or hood guys got a chance in wrestling.
Right.
I feel like NWA is a good place for me to be because I'm bringing the energy no one else is bringing.
I agree.
Like, for the young urban hip hop market, like who else? Like there's no one even, I feel like, in wrestling that's really, I mean, you got the kid who raps in AEW, but I can't see him being in the hood. He's not street. He's not. Yeah, he's a rapper, but I feel like no one's keeping it as gangster as me. And for me to be able to bring that energy to NWA, maybe I'll catch a few people. Like I want to be able. I remember when like '98 when wrestling was insanely popular. Like everyone was watching it in the projects, in suburbs. It was a phenomenon. And the hood watches wrestling, but it's not like it used to be because there's no representation.
Right.
And it's not about skin color. It's not about black, white, Spanish either. Like I just want like people from the hood to be able to be like, oh shit, like this guy listens to the same music I listen to. Oh, this guy wears the same clothes out. Like he's tuned in. He's tuned into the hood. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I want to be able to bring that energy, but also, being entertaining. Like it's like what could like how is this hood motherfucker gonna interact with a Nick Aldis? How is he gonna interact with a Chris Masters? I think it's painted. It's just interesting because we don't get to see it that much. You know, Shad RP, like, and Crime Time were able to do it, but they were a little I don't know what the word would be, pigeonholed or whatever. They had to do what they were told, you know?
Right,
They were
right.
they were hilarious. They were super entertaining, but they weren't able to do, you know what I mean? WWE, you have to do what you're told with the writers, you know. Whereas I have creative freedom pretty much. NWA is, I mean, they'll tell me, you know, we want you to get this point across. Like, oh yeah, I was gonna say that anyway. You know, I don't like this guy. I beat him already. Like what? So I just feel like I'm the hood. I'm the New York. I'm New York through and through. I'm New York through and through. I know people, like, a lot of people compare me to like Eddie Kingston, but just because we're both from New York, we have accents. I'm a fan of his, but I don't think we're like that similar. Besides the fact that we're from New York, the way we talk, the way his emotions go up and down, we're two totally different promos. Two totally different wrestlers. Just the fact that we both from New York, they compare me to him, but he's an excellent talker. So if you want to mention my name with him,
high praise.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're not mentioning me like who's. I'm trying to think of somebody from New York who can't talk for shit, and I can't. You know, no one remembers wrestlers from New York who can't talk. No one remembers wrestlers who can't talk. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Man, I got one bonus question. I just want to know. When are you going to go to Texas and take up for the Pace Picani?
Oh, I'm going to Texas. I will be at Hurricane Pro Wrestling. I mean, they haven't announced it though.
Okay.
But I think in June I will be in Texas. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might have a Pace promo. Believe it or not. I could be real creative with my promo. I might have a Pace promo. I might be dissing the entire state of Texas.
Hey, I'm not gonna. When I saw that tweet about the Pace Picani, like it popped me pretty hard because I remember the commercials and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even think about from a New Yorker's perspective what it would be.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. Like super disrespectful.
Yeah,
but it's fine because, like, you know, when I go to Texas, I'm gonna shit on their pizza. They can shit on us.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll be in Texas in June. I'll be wrestling in Texas in June. I don't want to like spoil. I don't know if they want me to hold off, but yeah, I will be announcing it soon, probably.
Okay.
Well, go ahead and blow up your social media. Let our listeners know where they can find you at.
Slice Boogie, exactly how it sounds. SLICE BOOGIE on Instagram and Twitter. I made a fucking Twitch, but I never stream. Like my laptop sucks. So if my Twitch info will be up if I do that. But I'm about to start my Pro Wrestling Tees store soon too. So just look out for that. I need the merch money, man. I need it.
Oh, you'll get it from us for sure. We're
100%.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you so much, Slice, for coming on. We can't wait to see you on Power and beyond. And again, everybody go check out at Slice Boogie on social media. Keep a lookout for his t-shirts and do all that good stuff. But thank you so much, Slice. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right, fellas. Thanks for having me.